Hello everybody, we should be live. Hold up, let me check. Why is it not showing? Ah, there we are. And welcome to Kerbal Space Program. It is currently 8:53 at night, but I am streaming anyways. Of course, today we are going to be streaming some nice Kerbal Space Program. Actually, hold up, let me turn up the audio a little bit. There we go. Apply, accept. And today we're going to be building the Delta 3 rocket. We're going to be recreating it in Kerbal Space Program. Now, the Delta 3 is known as a bit of a failure. However, I think it looks kind of interesting. So I've decided to recreate it. And by the way, this stream, it is, I've subtitled it under the header Midnight Special because I'm doing this stream late. The Midnight Special is, well, it's a song, but it's also either, depending on what story you believe, a train that passed by a certain prison either in Mississippi or Texas at midnight, so I decided to call my late night streams that. Let's get started. I'll get into the VAB and then I'll show you exactly what we are making. Now, I don't actually have a save ready for this, so we're just going to name it, I don't know, Sandbox. Sandbox, there we go. And actually, I also forgot to announce this stream. I might as well do that now. For the one person that is watching, how is the audio? Actually, hold up. Game. Excuse me for 1 second. Streams. Copy text. I'm doing this on my phone. Paste. There we go. And yeah, I didn't bother to make a thumbnail for this because, you know, I just threw this together within like 5 seconds. I will bother eventually. Now, the Delta 3 is, well, let's just get this up. Let me bring up my, this is the Delta 3 right here. Now, the Delta 3 is kind of an interesting rocket. It's kind of the, how do I best describe it, black sheep of the Delta family. Here's the Delta family right here. Starting with the Delta 2, there were obviously Delta rockets before this. And then you have the Delta 3, and then you have the Delta 4, which is still flying today. And Delta 2 was incredibly successful. Delta 4 was also incredibly successful. It's still flying. And then you have Delta 3, which flew 3 times. Only 2 of the times it was an actual, only 2 of the times it flew, it was a success. And let's just get a picture up. Like, let me open this. So yeah, like, the Delta 3 is kind of this weird mashup between Delta 4 and Delta 2. It takes the Delta 4 second stage and the Delta 2 first stage and kind of smashes it together into one rocket. Actually, they took this and just lengthened the core for this. Because the second stage and the fairing is Delta 2 and Delta 4 are the exact same. Now, Delta 2 was originally made by McDonnell Douglas, and then Boeing took over McDonnell Douglas. They made this, which was a total failure. And then they made this, and it just it worked okay. This is gibberish to me, but this is epic, yeah. And, you know, they made this. So, this is what we're making today. This stupid-ass looking rocket. It's, you know, Steven is in the chat. Hello, Steven. Well, let's get back to Kerbal Space Program. Basically, we have to make this. And to that, we need to make the upper stage first, which is the, I think it's called the Delta Cryogenic upper stage. Delta Cryogenic second stage. That's the first thing we need to make. We basically need to make this first. That's actually a picture of it in Kerbal Space Program right there. Although that is using mods, and we are using stock. So, yeah, that's fine. Okay. So, let's start out with a probe core, because this is, of course, an unmanned rocket. And, Okay, so Delta cryogenic second stage. Well, what I want to put on this, obviously, fuel. Power would be fine, and probably a docking port to attach payloads to. That's too small. That is also too small. That is fine, and we're going to make it orange. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put on an engine plate to kind of act as a, where is it? Engine plate. That's way too big. That's too small. That is perfect. And you'll see what we'll do with that later. And then, let me get out a picture. Let me just close that for now, so you just see, the only thing you can see is the game. And actually, I might need to adjust the one thing I didn't realize, because I'm doing this incredibly late. I need to currently active, turn off any outputs. Damn it, the resolution is off if you can't realize that. I should have checked that before I started to stream. Okay, so let me get this picture back up. So it's kind of like a truss structure. Let's take like, pull up. Oh, my phone is now apparently wants a software update. Okay. We can take that, and then we can put, we're gonna have to, that's a decoupler. But it's like the same, it's the type of structure that we need. That's too big. I need the, like the 1.75 fuel tanks, like that size. Nope, that's way too big. I need that to be shorter. Like that big, yeah, and I'm also gonna make that white. And then, I don't know. Let's add some truss, some like little, to make it look more like what we want it to look like. Actually, maybe if we put these a bit too more up. I can't see the stream chat right now because I do the stream chat on my phone, and my phone apparently wants a software update. That did not work. Maybe if I go further back. I don't expect this to take long. This entire build to take that long. It's relatively straightforward. It's just a matter of, how exactly I go about building this. That looks like it. Okay. And now we need, another, because it has an RL10 engine. What's closest to, I can speak, what's closest to the RL10? One of these, maybe? That's, no, it's like a J2. I think this is supposed to be closest to the RL10. That's big. I know is it or is that the Centaur Harbor stage? I don't know. One of these rockets has this thing where the nozzle, this bottom half, it slides down when they go to ignite it, so it's all packed up in here, and then the nozzle, this red part, slides down, but I can't remember what engine that is for the life of me, or if it's even on this rocket. What are these? Turbo shafts? Oh, these are like the motors. Well, I don't think we're going to be needing those. Yeah, that looks... That looks fine. Let me get up the picture again. Also, let me get up stream chat. Guten Tag, Brett the German has come. Hello, Brett. Oh, the engine it uses is actually kind of short. Okay, by the way, how's the audio? Can you hear, like, me fine? Can you hear the game audio fine? Is, like, the music too loud? The game music too loud? So, actually, something more like this would probably be appropriate. And, actually, one thing that I have to do is I have to attach one of these. Actually, hold up. Let's test this for a bit, because this is a decoupler that's not supposed to decouple. So I don't know if this, like, fuel from this tank will flow to this tank if this decoupler's in the way. So we're gonna test that. Hold up. Up. Wobbles it down a little bit. Shut off. We're gonna activate this engine. Yep, it doesn't want to flow. Damn it. Okay, revert flight to VAB. We might have to go about a different way of doing this. Actually, you know what we could do? I don't know if this will work. Oh, my phone's turning back on. Maybe I could slide this in here, the fuel pump in here. Hold up. This might require a bit of finicking around with this. Hold up. Put it on the inside. Like that. And then you come down here with it. So it should flow from that tank to that tank. And everything should be fine. If I could line it up right. Nope, it doesn't want to work. Damn it. Okay, we're gonna have to find a different way of doing this. How, though? I don't... Maybe one of these? Actually, I know how. You just slide this down like that, so it creates a little bit of a gap. And then because those two are connected... Actually, yeah, because those two are connected up, actually, you know what I'm going to do? Get out more engine plates. Engine plates are your friend, I've noticed. And my phone is back up. It has recharged. Let me just get the stream back up. There we go. Everything's okay? Okay, thank you, Brett. Engine plate. I need the smallest one. That one. Yes. That's the one that I need. And then we'll put another one. That's way too big. We'll put another one down here. These are meant for, like, mounting rocket engines, but, like, I generally use them also for, like, if I need a smooth edge for something. That is perfect. Okay. So, yet again, this isn't going to be an exact replica. I just want to get the general... And the second stage is the easiest part, actually. The hard part is going to come when we have to do the boosters, because Delta 3 has this weird thing where... It had this weird thing where the boosters... Ah, damn it. Where only some of the boosters would ignite at launch, and then once, like, I think it was like 3 boosters would ignite at launch, and then once those ran out, the rest would ignite. I have no clue why they did that. Probably some specific reason. I don't know. I don't know why they did that. I'm more into general spaceflight history than actual designing of shit. Yeah, that... Hold up. And then up there... That looks... Hold up. If I slide those in a bit more, so where you can't see them. Ah, damn it. I don't know. Michael Musk. I mean, I guess. Yeah, actually, what I'm going to do... Yeah, that was fine. What we had was fine. It may not be the most accurate thing in the... I did not mean to put that there. It may not be the most accurate thing in the world, but it'll do. I'm not going into, like, super detail with everything, just the general gist of it. Delta 4 is also Delta 4. I keep saying Delta 4. No, that was the actual successful one. Delta 3 is also kind of weird because, I don't know, it's going to be carrying a lot of payload, and then you just have, like, I guess that's why they put the boosters on, because the first stage is smaller than the second one and where the payload is. Actually, speaking of the payload, put the fairing on, that's probably a good idea. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to rotate that so it looks more like it. Actually, hold up. What, like that, maybe? How would I go about doing this? Well, I need that to face like that. Because I'm trying to get the weird-ass truss structure between these two stages. You should make a manned V2, why? I mean, there were many proposals for manned V2s from the Soviets and the Americans, and heck, even the British. The entire idea of a manned V2 to me is weird, like... I mean, I guess to be fair, like, all of the when we first started sending up people, we sent them on basically modified missiles. The Russian R-7 was originally meant to be a missile, and it is still in service today, which is fascinating. I think the first rocket that we built, that we sent up people on, that wasn't supposed to be a missile was the Saturn. Was Saturn 1? Yeah, it was Saturn 1, and then, of course, we had Saturn 5, and then the shuttle came along, and that was interesting. Hey! That looks good! You see that, guys? That, like, truss segment thing? Let me bring this up. This is what we're supposed to be making right here. Plot convenience? I don't know. I might make a manned V2 at the end of the stream if everything goes well. You see this truss structure right here? We basically replicated that pretty well right here. So that is very nice. Vacuum. All I need is the thrust weight ratio. Show all. Oh, that thrust to weight ratio is horrible. Okay, I might need a bigger engine. Damn it. You know what? We could do this. Is that supposed to be like an RL-10? I could just, like, slide that up in there. Wasn't it the Mercury? The first time we sent up anybody was Alan Shepard on the, well, the first 6 times. The Mercury capsule, but the rocket was a Redstone. The first 3 times we sent up people, it was on the Mercury Redstone, Mercury being the capsule, Redstone being the rocket, which Redstone was originally a missile. And then for the rest of that program, we had Mercury Atlas, which was the same Mercury capsule, and then Atlas was also supposed to be a missile. And the Atlas rocket, that was Atlas. It was just called the Atlas, and then eventually later on, they had a bunch of other variants of the Atlas, and then it became Atlas 2, 3, 4, and 5, which Atlas 5 is still flying today, so... Although, Mercury was only... I think the last Mercury flight was in 1962, so... We could have this. I mean, this is... That's way too big. That is way too big. Damn it, I don't know what engine to put on this for the life of me. Actually, I'm gonna put this on. Yeah, that's good. Was it John Glenn? I'm not sure. Alan Smith. Alan Smith. Not Millennium Force. Alan Shepard was the first American astronaut, although he just went up and then back down. And then I always forget the second one. But he went up and down. And on the third flight, John Glenn, who actually orbited the Earth. And that was in 1962. No, as far as I know, Alan Smith has never been to space, although such a prospect is terrifying to me. Oh, that looks better. That looks a lot better. It actually looks like what I'm going for. And then, shroud, gimbal. Yeah, that works. That works perfect, actually. And now I just need to put on, like, batteries. Oh god, now I'm thinking about Alan Smith in space. With, you know, the sentient citrus fruit. Okay. For this, I want to put some batteries on it for, like, power. I'll put, like, 4 batteries on it. There's a mod that allows you to make shrink. Yeah, I know. I generally like to play stock KSP. So I have played like super modded KSP before where I have like a billion separate mods, and that can be fun, but I like the challenge of building stuff in stock and just the base game. And of course we have Kerbal Space Program 2 coming out sometime in 2021. About a year and a half, 2 years from now. And if you bet your ass I'm getting that. I've played this game since, like, KSP came out in 2011. I think I found it in, like, 2013, 2014. Yeah, 2013, I think, is when I found KSP. I don't know. I'm just going to put those in there. No. Because this thing needs control. Let's put some vernier engines on it. Where's the center of mass on this thing? There it is. So those are little vernier engines. They'll help us maneuver, steer our craft in space. They use the liquid fuel and the oxidizer from the normal tank, so we don't have to put a separate type of fuel. And then, I don't think I need SAS. I'll put, like, maybe I'll lodge, like, I don't know. I'll lodge, like, an RTG in there somewhere. Actually, communications, I'm just gonna lodge those in there. Just 2 of them. Yeah, like that. And then just... Because, like, in Kerbal Space Program, as long as you have your antennas... As long as you have an antenna on the craft, it doesn't matter where the heck you put it. It will be fine. So, I'll put 2 on. Yep, that's fine. And then... Hold up. Actually... Like that. Problems I have with mods is it makes the game very unstable. When I played KSP like 2 or 3 years ago, or like even 4 years ago at this point on my old laptop, it would make the game unstable. Like, just with, like, older... You think it makes the game unstable now. Like, back then, like, you could only run, like, a certain number of mods. Like, a dozen mods before it would, like, crash your game on the regular. Although they've drastically improved that now. I remember, like, before Kerbal Space Program went to 64-bit, it was only in 32-bit, which meant that you could only have around, like, 500 parts before your game started to lag with even a decent computer. But then they updated 64-bit, and you can have 2,000 parts on one craft, and it runs just fine. At least on my computer, it does. And then, so, docking port. I'm going to add a little battery. A little battery in here. I know Kerbal Space Program multiplayer is a thing. Dark multiplayer. Although I've only ever tried it out like once or twice. Me and some of my friends at school, we hosted a KSP LAN party where we all went over to my friend's house with our laptops and we played KSP and we made a bunch of fighter jets, and that was fun. And then we made a moon base together where we all launched the individual stuff at the same time, and there was a race to see who could get to the moon first. Okay, so I think that's the upper stage done. Let's just name that Delta 3. My goal... Actually, hold up. Before we continue, I'm going to test this again. See if, the fuel flows properly. My old PC from 09 has that problem. 12 mods are the limit, otherwise rip. Yeah. Which, I don't know. I've never really played mods, KSP, with a whole lot of mods anyways, so it has never really been a problem for me. Hey, it works. Perfect. So this upper stage is done. Let's see how we did compared to the real thing. I'd say that's pretty good. Now we have to make the Here's a better picture. We have to make the second stage, which is incredibly weird. The first stage, which, hold up. It's this central thing right here. So, let me just switch back to KSP. Let me zoom in. And let's begin. So, I'm going to need a decoupler. Coupling, here we go. Stack separator is always nice because, it just kicks them away. Oh, nope. Because there's two types of couplers in the game. Decouplers in the game. There's the stack decoupler, which ejects a little bit of force, and then there's just a normal decoupler. I use the stack decouplers for most of the time because, it helps kick them away from each other. And now we need one of these fairing. I remember the days when fairings were a mod. Kerbal Space Program for a long time, for like the first 20 or so versions, did not have fairings. But then it was a mod, but then they added the fairings. It's like, oh my god. I remember the days when you had to make fairings out of these things. These structural panels. Old Kerbal Space Program is certainly something that I hold close to my heart because of simply the if you didn't have mods, the lengths you had to go to was kind of ridiculous. Well, not ridiculous. I wouldn't say ridiculous, but the things you had to do to get something that was realistic or something good looking was kind of insane. Some people still do that now with circular tanks and stuff. If they want a large circular tank, they clip a bunch of tanks into each other and all that. I remember the old aerodynamics system where that was updated a long, long time ago, where you could make a plane and you could make something that could fly forever. I think they were called infinigliders, where you would take a fuel tank, empty it with fuel, and then you'd attach wings to it, and then you'd take these things, the elevons, and then you clip 50 of those inside each other, and you just flap them back and forth, and it would fly forever. But then they updated the aerodynamics, and that became no longer possible. if you go look at like a bunch of old like videos from like Scott Manley, who's like the best, you know, like he's been around for a long time, since like the early days of KSP, and I remember watching him. I still watch him because he still puts out a lot of good stuff. If you go look at like some of the like Reusable Space Program or like Interstellar Quest and those series that I remember watching, oh god, the stuff you had to do in old KSP is kind of ridiculous. Clamshell deploy on, and now that's way too big. Take one of these. Yeah, one of those tanks. And then, where is it? Like that? Actually, let me take a... It's like a very abrupt change. That's way too small. That's way too big. Is there like a... Even that's like way too big for the change that I need. You know what, we're gonna have to do this in a bit of an interesting way. Robaz was good, I think that's what his name is. I never really watched him a whole lot playing KSP. Then I remember KSP being a fairly small, tight-knit community. And then, like, it kind of blew up, and I'm like, you know, I'm glad that it kind of blew up, but, like, man, do I miss the old days. When I was, like, 9. Like, not 9. When I was, like, really younger. You know, making... I made KSP videos. And you know, they were not really successful. I got a few comments here and there. But... no, nothing really all that big. This stage is going to be something. I didn't mean for that to have a shroud. Hold up. Shroud. Or the engine plate. That's what. Shroud disabled. Yeah, there we go. And then... engine plate. Actually, hold up. I can take like this, and then I can like stick it in there. Could I shift this up? No, I couldn't. Okay. We were just gonna have to deal with what we had before. With the weird thing like that. Engine plate. When I look back at my old videos, I cringe. My old YouTube channel, it was named Shortline Productions. Well, this channel was originally named Shortline Productions, but I had another channel that was named Shortline Productions, and I actually had something called the Shortline Gamer, which is my first name, and then Shortline Gamer does KSP, where I uploaded a bunch of KSP videos, but all of those are gone now. I deleted that channel. You know, I tried to be somewhat decent with my videos. You know, I never really learned how to properly edit, but, like, I learned how to do voiceovers and put in, like, fade in, fade out, and how to make thumbnails, and, you know, I tried to make nice KSP videos where I'd, you know, explain what was going on, and, you know, the reasons why I did this compared to, you know, something else. And I tried to make, you know, like, videos like if there was some big event in, like, space news, like a certain rocket was launching or something on a certain mission, I'd recreate it, and then I'd, you know, without a script, try and do my best to tell all about, you know, what was going on. All of those are gone now. Shame, really. I got up to 50 subs on that channel, actually. You know, before I kind of beamed its existence. You know, I'm probably going to make more videos like that on this channel, you know. Because I had fun making those videos. I wasn't very good at making them. But I had fun. That's all that really matters. Well, at least I put in the effort. That's what I like to think. Okay, that's fine. Okay, so... let me make this fairing. Hold up. So, I want to be able to carry 18 tons into orbit. 18 tons is basically this fuel tank right here. So... we're gonna build ourselves a fairing so I get some idea of, like, proportions. Yeah, there we go. And then 85. Actually, the fairing is more like, it's more like this. Make a fairing like this. I don't know why would anyone want to do that. There we go. That looks good enough. You know, I wish these fuel tanks were just plain white. Okay, so the Delta 4, I always forget what engine, how many engines it had at the bottom. It just had one. Those are some Delta 2s right there. That's the upper stage of a Delta 3 and a Delta 4, because the upper stage of the Delta 3 and the Delta 4 are the same. Delta Cryogenic second stage, it's called. Because they use cryogenic fuels, which can be stored for longer compared to other rocket fuels. And that's all I really know about them. I have a friend who's, like, big into, like, memorizing, like, fuels and stuff. As I said, I'm more into, like, the history of everything and all that. Yet again, I don't know what engine to put on here. Huh. You can put on F1. That engine's meant for Saturn V's. Skiff, maybe this. That still seems a bit too big. I guess I could always slide it up in there. How much TBR does this have? 0.32. I could use these 4, like, quad engines. I don't know why, though. Let's go with this, and then I can just, like, slide it up in there to create the feeling of it. Actually, you know what I can do? Where are these things? And then I can just, like, extend. I can actually extend that out to become medium short, and then I can just slide this up in there. So it looks similar to what... Yeah, that's fine. Let's just organize the staging here a little bit. This is all over the place. Let's see. Decoupler, fairing, decoupler, engine. That's an engine plate. That's another engine plate. Is that... Yeah, engine plate, fairing. Yes, there we go. So, that's roughly accurate, I guess. Hold on, let me get up a picture. Second stage is the first stage is a bit shorter. So maybe, like, we'll take out one of these. Delta 2, 3 is a really short rocket. It's a really weird-looking rocket. Okay. So there we have it, Delta 3, at least the first half of Delta 3. Gimbal, I'm gonna select the gimbal down. And now we just need boosters. Those are way too big. These are also way too big. What about these? Those are also way too big. I might need to put on, because they're solid fuel. Actually, wait, the shrimp? No. The thumb, yeah, these make sense. Hold up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. How many boosters did this have exactly? Hold up. Delta 3 was an expendable launch vehicle launched by Boeing. Out of its first 3 flights, 2 were failures, and the third declared successful, reached the low end of its target orbit, and only carried a dummy payload. So the one time they actually successfully launched this thing, it didn't even, like, carry an actual satellite, it just carried water. RS-27A, 9 GEM-46 solid boosters. 6 motors were ignited on launch pad. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh yeah, because, I don't know, a weird thing is that they were placed in a weird-ass configuration where, like that, basically. I need boosters that are like, those are way too big, that's way too big, that's way too big, that's also way too big. These are too small, but they're also way too big at the same time. These would work, like they're the proper size. Actually, hold up. I might be able to do that, actually. Hold up. Because 3 of them were ignited on pad, 6 of them were ignited on pad, and the other 3 were ignited once the other 2 had burnt out. So it's kind of an interesting way to design your rocket. Huh. Well, one thing I am going to put on here is these Sepatrons, which will kick the stage away once, you know, it runs out of fuel. Then I always thrust limit those to like 10 because this is going to be in orbit. Yeah, like that, basically. Those will kick them away, kick that stage away once it's, you know, done. Where are the... Here's coupling. So what we really need are these things. I'm going to put 6 on first. And then I'm going to put the other 3 on. We're going to put them down here. And then 3. And I don't know if this will work all that well, but I'm going to try. That looks ridiculous, and it will look even more ridiculous once we put the actual boosters on. These things are so tiny. I love them. So that's on 3, and that's on 6, so they're all kind of weirdly packed together. And then, of course, we'll move them in ever so slightly. So let's put them on like that. And then they're going to be like glitching through each other almost. how the fuck do I do this? As I said, the boosters are the hardest part, because you have to pack so many in such a tight space. And then you have these that I need to put on. Which, those are clipping together. Actually, what I might do... That kind of works. I don't want to put these on individually and then have to... Oh, God. I might have to end up doing that. Hold up. So we're going to put 2 on... Or we could do... So yeah, that's 3, and then we need 6. So what I'm going to do is we need to make sure we have 9 of these. So... Where are the decouplers? Coupling... Oh, did Brett leave? Rip Brett. He was a gamer. Those right there. Those right there. But that's only 6. Hold up. Those right there, and then those can go right there. This is incredibly hard. How would I... Like this? I mean, that almost works. And remember, we're gonna have to squish these things together, so... That is indeed 9. So... Hold up. Let's just put these on and then see how they are. Oh, that sucks. That almost works. That works. It kind of works in a weird, disjointed way, but it works. Let me just bring these up further on the rocket, because they're kind of lifted up off the ground slightly. They don't sit exactly on the ground. Oh, I meant to do it like that. There we go. That's somewhat like it. And then we just need to, like, pack them together as close as we can. And then we have something that vaguely looks like a Delta 2. Which, that means we have to, like, bring them together like this. That does not look like a Delta 2. Okay, I have a better idea. We're gonna use something different. We're gonna... How thick are these tanks right here? Oh, they're... Okay. So what we're gonna do is, because those are way too big, also they're way too hard to fit in, we're gonna position... We're gonna put these 3. Is there like a thinner one that we can use? Yeah, like that. It's perfect. Those 3 there. Those 3 there. So that's a set of 3. And then I can move that over 1 on that side. And I can move that over 1 on that side. No, I can't. Damn it. Okay, hold up. So 6. And then 3. Which, that works. This is the stuff I have to go through when building stuff in KSP. That works. That works perfectly. Okay. Now we just need the rockets, which I'm going to use these. Like, they're close enough to what I need. In fact, I think these rockets are supposed to be based off of these, yeah. Then I can extend them up a little bit more, and then everything will be fine. I can add extra fuel or something in there. I wish there was like a standard like solid fuel tank that you can add on top of your normal solid fuel tanks and it would flow down. That would be so useful for like everything. But what I'm gonna have to do is I'm gonna have to cheat a little bit because, spoiler alert, these aren't gonna be filled. Actually, what I could do is I could do some like trickery and like add these on top, because these are solid liquid fuel tanks. And then I could have them flow first, so all of this fuel gets expended. Remember, we aren't like launching these all at the same time. 6 of these are going to ignite on launch, and the other 3 are then going to ignite. So, control. I always forget how you, like, copy stuff in KSP. Oh, hold Alt. I did not know that. There we go. 5, 6 years of playing this game, and I did not know that. Okay, I am big debil. Now, the trick is, yeah, there we go. Hold up. Okay, so now this is starting to look like Delta 3. Maybe if we take off, like, those 2, it will start to look more like Delta 3. With the rockets on the side. Again, if I could slide these in here. Damn it, KSP, why do you do this to me? Or actually, hold up. This is a better way. Just press Alt, and then I can slide them in there like that. This worked before. There we go. Okay. And then aerodynamics. I know there's like a small nose cone. That's a big nose cone. Small nose cone. And now that looks like Delta 3. Hey! And then I'm doing a bit of trickery here because these are liquid fuel tanks. But I'm going to set it up. I keep banging my hand. I'm going to set it up so that the tanks here are the ones that flow into the thing first, and then they separate. So everything... This is going to be interesting. So 6 and oh, it's 6 and 6. Do I have 12 on here? 1, 2. Oh, I have 6 and 6. I'm at 6 and 3. Okay. We're gonna save. And then we're gonna have to remove half of these. Which kind of sucks. So, that's only 6. And now we just need 3. Because it has 9. 9 total boosters. Which is frankly kind of a weird thing. It's kind of a weird number. Like that, yeah, okay, that's close enough. They are supposed to be spread out more. But, like, I really don't know a way to do that. Actually, let's take a look. Well, Delta 3, Delta 3. Well, I guess there's a kind of a bit of gap in between all the boosters that... Okay, it's gonna bug me to no end. Meh, I'll read through that later. It's gonna bug me to no end, but... Actually, hold up. Will it, though? I might be able to make this work. No, will I? Actually, I might be able to make this work. Or at least give the illusion of it being more spread out than it actually is. Oh, no. That would require me setting up individual... Damn it. Okay. You know what? Because I want this to look right. For the sake of my own sanity, I guess. I'll do that. So, Alt. We'll put... three... like that. Hold up. 3 like that. And then we'll press Alt again. Actually, let's just take these off entirely. Because I really like the look of those boosters. I want to get this exactly right. Which it isn't right now. It's almost exact. Oh, now I'm on a roll. Now then we need to test it, which hopefully everything goes well. If it turns out we have to go redesign this, I just might end up going to sleep. Groveland. Okay. Yeah, we're gonna have to... Actually, I have an idea. I don't know if this will work. Sometimes you have to fidget with things to get the exact way you want it. And no. If I try and rotate one more time. Yeah, it's not gonna get what I want. Okay. So, yeah. We're gonna have to... We're gonna have to do this I guess the old-fashioned way where we just rotate it out, I guess. Those can be the 3 ones that, like, separate off after everything else does. So, I'll attach you, and then I'll rotate you that way. So you're going to end up separating off in kind of a weird fashion, but it's going to be... For the sake of my sanity, and for the sake of the design, and, you know, trying to get it to look right, how long have we spent on these boosters alone? Like, how many minutes have I spent just trying to get these to work? And then what I'll do is I'll Yeah, hold up. Alt. And then attach those on there. And then we can deal with the exact proportions of it later, like the exact placement. Just get them on there for now. Okay. That looks a lot better. A lot better. Okay, now we just need to get them all lined up, which the way I'm going to do that is shroud, disable. I'm going to do this. Okay, now where exactly do I want these to line up? I think that's a good height. So they just need to be placed directly on there, and it should be good to go. Damn it. Just one more. There we go. And then I'm going to do much the same over here. And then I'm going to move you up so they're all even. If you ever want things to be perfectly even in KSP, always go to the set a height. Just use measure stuff out using the things, these things. And now they're all even. And that looks so good. So good. I love it. I love it. And where's the weird ones with the slanted decouplers? Okay, you're fine. Are you the weird ones with the slanted decouplers? No, you aren't. You are. So you two are going to separate at the same time. So which one is that? So that. That. So it's those ones, and those are the decouplers. Okay. So those are going to fire immediately. And then they're going to decouple. And then how Delta 4 works, it's even weirder, because they stay on for a little bit they deactivate. They stay on for I think 10 or 15 or 20 seconds after, and then they cut off. Which, frankly, that is Delta 3. What were they thinking? What the fuck were they on when they made this rocket? It's beautiful. I love it. It flew 3 times. It was a failure. It had one success, and the one success it did have, it wasn't even carrying anything. It was just a test to see if it could make it. But it did. It's a shame this thing didn't see more launches. Delta 3 is one of my favorite rockets. My favorite rocket for a long time has been Delta 4, but Delta 3 is just too ridiculous. I can't not like it. It's too freaking ridiculous. Let's slide that down. Actually, no. Actually, something I can... No, I don't want to take those off. That's too much of a hassle. What I can do is I can put them on like this, then attach them sideways. Maybe that'll look better. Actually, because I want everything to be lined up, so... Lined up like that. Are those the weird crooked ones? I don't know. Lined up like that. Oh, that did not want to go. Lined up like that. Come on, baby. And then that one's up. They're closer together than they are. Like that. Yeah, that works, I guess. Like, they may not all be lined up perfectly, but, like, who cares? And then what I have to do is I, of course, have to thrust limit all of these to, like, 20 so they don't burn out immediately. There we go. And then now another thing that I have to do is the fuel lines, which that's going to be fun. Fuel lines can go all the way. Let's put them all the way down here. So that's the fuel duct. You put them on there. Oh, nope. Fuel duct. Who is watching at this point? I don't know. It's 10 o'clock. I've been streaming for an hour. Meh. I'm probably going to go to sleep, like, really late tonight. But I wanted to do this. So, screw you. I'm doing it. No, that looks ugly. Or should I even have these? Like, do I even... How much fuel is this in total? Not much. It's just dry mass, basically. Like, I already put the struts on there. You know what? Maybe some other time. Do I have to go around, like... Yeah, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, and then, which is the ones with the weird ass, I might want to keep the fuel in just because, I don't know. It's supposed to be dead weight anyways. Because, like, the top ones, for the sake of, you know, the design and having it fly right. Because a big part of this is having a rocket, you know, fly correctly. Okay, Delta 3. It's almost done. At least I think our preliminary design is almost done. I just need, like, to attach the payload, and then we can go out and test this thing, and I'm actually kind of scared about how this is going to go. I don't think this is going to go well at all. I mean, this isn't something that we slapped together in 5 minutes. It's something that I actually tried to at least build. Okay. Here is our Delta 3. And this is the Delta 3 in real life. It's not the exact same. I could fix some things, but it is fairly accurate. Okay, let's go. Let's see. We're about an hour into the stream. Yep, we're an hour and 9 minutes. And oh god. Where's the first stage? Yeah, the first stage would probably be down there. 3, 2, 1, go. This thing does not want to take off. Not the console. Cheats? Nope, everything is fine. Okay. Plan B. That the thrust limits all the way. What about the boosters? Okay. Those few... Okay, which are the weird ones? Because the weird ones are the ones that decouple later on. Okay. Does this have a good TWR? No, not at all. Damn it. It's because the payload is too heavy. No, this thing won't even lift off with the payload. Okay, I might have to reduce the amount of payload that we carry to, like, that. That's only 8 tons. I'm pretty sure Delta 3 could only carry us. It wasn't that, like, good. I mean, it could carry a fair amount, a respectable amount to orbit, but I don't think it could carry, like, a whole bunch. I need something that has, like, a bare engine. No, I'm not using the F1. Well, let's save and let's launch and let's see what happens again. I probably should have checked that before. Yeah, it still doesn't have enough fuel. Okay, we're gonna need a better engine, and I have no clue how. We might have to compromise on the design a little bit. How much can you push? Thrust. How about you? 40, 47. That's not a lot. 64. That's also small. I might have to use the vector engine. Because, you know, this is supposed to be a space shuttle main engine, by the way. So, which means gimbal limit down to like 10. That also means I can thrust limit the boosters back up again. You know what that also means? I'm gonna have to add an extra tank down there just to keep it, like, the height the same. I don't know why I didn't use this to begin with. I mean, I'm literally swapping out an engine. Like, that's... You typically don't... Okay. You typically don't want to do that. Move that up. Is that all the way up? Nope, one more. That's good. That's good enough. And that also means we can thrust limit. It is me, the most wanted man on the planet. Yes, for capping on Hightower 50 billion times. 20. 20. 20, 20, 20, 20. Everything's 20. Okay. Which, TWR... 1 point. That is actually good. What if we swap that out for... this? 1 point... I'm here to cap the universe, starting with the universe. Nice. Okay. I think that would actually be pretty good. Okay, second launch attempt with Delta 2, with our Delta 2, with our Delta 3. Starting to cap with the solar system. I mean, how would you do that? Like, place a flag on everything? Like, you can't place a flag on Joule, because, you know, or the sun. Kerbal. Anyways. Okay, time to go. I am incredibly nervous. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. And we have liftoff of our Delta 3 replica. My god, is that first stage burning through quickly. Oh god, we have horrible TWR. Okay, I think this thing can only really carry 8 tons. Test me. It's gonna go horrible, isn't it? Test me, bitch. I'm not going to. 8 tons. There we go. And launch. Okay, this should perform a better. This is a weird rocket, though, so I don't know how. Okay, there we go. Yet again, this is just a test to see, did I get things correct? When trying to make an exact replica, or a rock, or like, yeah, well, not an exact replica, but when trying to make a replica, you need to... I might need to have the solid fuel be back at 100% for everything. I did not mean to do that. Don't save. Delta 3, open. And I might actually need to thrust limit the center engine. No, I can't. I can't thrust limit the center engine. Can I? 1.15? Sure. Okay, let's go. And let's see if we... Okay, another test. Yes, that's good. That is perfect. Or maybe the boosters will run out too much. Actually... Go, go, go! And then we start our gravity turn. This thing seems to handle okay. No, it doesn't. I might need to attach, like, some wings onto it. And then they immediately run out, the boosters. I mean... Is there any way we can reduce mass on this? And I might need to add Sephitrons on those. Yeah. So this is the 24-hour stream? No, it's not. The 24-hour stream is before Kerbal Space Program 2 comes out, and I'm going to do an entire mission to Duna. Okay, that's an issue. Yeah, I need to add Sephitrons to those. Remember, kids, this is just a test to see, you know, if everything works. We can modify stuff later. It's gonna be a long way to orbit. It's a long way to go. That's why we have those vernier engines. See, I was thinking ahead on that. I might need to add some more SAS to this. And some wings to kind of keep it under control. Yeah. I think it's just a matter of we don't have enough TWR or fuel, really. Yeah, okay. So that was our first test of this rocket. It went pretty shit, actually. Because, hold up. Yeah, I'm gonna have to empty those out, see how much more we can get out of these. Yet again, your first design is never gonna be... Yet again, this isn't something I'm slapping together. I'm trying to make, like, a replica of an actual rocket that works and I can use. So... trying to do that is hard, to say the least. How much more TWR did we get out of it? Not much. Well... if I add some more fuel, maybe? Sure, let's try that. So that's our first stage. Actually. Shit. How would we go about doing that, though? Okay. Like that. Okay, that's easy. Just, I don't think there's an issue with, like, the engines that we hit, the type of engines that we have. And then I have to put SAS in it somewhere. Which is gonna be... I mean, I can just stick that up on top of it easily, and it will work. Why is it doing that? I don't... is it because... Hold up. This is not Groveland. This is Florida. Yeah, that... Okay, and then... Yeah, move that in. Move that down. Move that up. That should be fine. And then what we need is we need SAS. Because our goal is to launch this 8-ton tank into orbit. And if we can do that, we are good. Hello from Canada, where maple syrup is our cocaine. I mean, you're not wrong. Where would I put these on here? I'd put these on, like, here or something to give a bit of control. Yet again, I know it's not entirely accurate to the rocket that I'm building, but sometimes authenticity has to be relinquished for, you know, functionality. Like, in real life, this would work fine. It's just because Kerbal Space Program's the parts and the physics and all that. But that's the challenge. And then, you need some way to somehow kick these stages away. Or at least you aren't on career or real life mode where money is a thing. Well, yeah, this is how much that rocket costs in this game, but, like, because I'm in sandbox. I've never really played career. I don't know. It might be a nice, like, thing that I'll do eventually, but I'll stick with my stock. I'll stick with my sandbox for now because, frankly, sandbox mode is just fun. I just find it fun because, you know, you get to build whatever you want. You don't have to worry about all that stuff. Pergole. This thing has a lot of... I don't know how you kick them away. Actually, I have an idea. You just have it be like that. And then you slide those in. Actually, shit. Yeah, you place them up there. Hold up. Place them up here in the same place. And then like that. Like that. There you go. That kind of works. Up. Yeah, that kind of works. Hold up. This is, like in real life, it's not a nuke. No, it's just these small rockets will kick the... Once these like side boosters separate, the small rockets will kick them away. Which, you know what that means? I'm going to have to copy and paste all of these again, okay? Alt. And then Alt. Actually, these, because they're on the weird side-mounted boosters. Damn it. Damn it. Nope. Does that work? Yeah, that works. Close enough. Okay. So those will kick those away. Where are these? Those are right there, and those are right there. Put those up there. Okay, so we're gonna try and launch this again. Hopefully it works. Well, hopefully it works well enough that I can, like, start finding... Hopefully it works well enough that I can, like, because I might actually go to bed soon. If I can get this into orbit without any major incident, then I'll be happy, and then we can come back and tweak it sometime on a later stream. Delta 3, this is, I guess, the fifth attempt at trying to launch this thing. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. And we are off. Hopefully this works better than it did before. Oh, I forgot to adjust the thrust limit on the main rocket. Damn it. Yeah, and let's adjust the gimbal so it's higher. 20 is fine. Okay. We're gonna launch. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. There we go. That's a lot better. Rockets. They're cool. Might actually be going a little bit too fast. Because, you know, there is such a thing of going too fast in spaceflight and rockets. The issue with the... That's not that big of an issue with the pitch, with the roll. I might have... Yeah, I might be going a little bit too shallow. Yeah, I think I might be going... Yep, and then those... The couple... Well, then those activate. Yeah, I'm going a bit too shallow. Damn it, I messed up again. Well, we're gonna try. I just want to see if, you know... I might have to reduce the amount of fuel in those. What I really want to test is a separation, which goes fine. And then those cut off at the same time. Those separate all fine. That will separate. And then it's that. Okay. I might have lost 50% of my backpack. How? How do you manage that? Okay. Rockets are hard. I'll just say that now. They are hard. This isn't the most aerodynamic thing in the world, but... I really just need these to be on the side so that they can help stabilize. But everything else seemed to work okay. That looks kind of ridiculous. I might slide these in there. Hold up. Oh yeah, I opened the Smithmas box and I did that on stream. I got an expander for my backpack, actually. I need to start trading stuff soon. Make some nice money. Then, of course, I'm going to limit those. That's fine. Gambling, lol, maybe that's the reason why they put age limits on it for a reason, but it never asked for my age. Huh. Okay. Let's try this one more time. I'm gonna have to be careful when trying to go into orbit. Okay. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. And lift off. Of yet again another launch attempt of our Delta 3. I'm telling you, Delta 3 in real life was a mess, and so was our version. I like to think it's related to just... Holy shit, okay. Can this thing not, like, stay still? There's some rockets which are like, ah yes, the way they move is very smooth. What if I just get rid of the gimbal on that? Will that help? Kind of. Do these things have gimbal? No, they don't. They're just boosters. Oh, they flamed out. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Separate. And then those fly away. Fly away. And throttle back. That's more smooth. And then, yeah, those cut out, those eject. There we go. We activate that, and we'll push on into our orbit. Holy shit, what the... Oh god, I might need to reduce the amount of throttle on that, like the amount of, separation speed, I guess you could say. And then we'll deploy the fairing. 50 kilometers is nice. Oh, I set it to deploy clamshell. That's fine, then it explodes. I mean, this launch so far has actually been... I think we've got it at a pretty... Well, yeah, we can make it to orbit with our, I think, 8-ton payload this is. And we'll actually have a fair amount of fuel left over. It's just... I'm going to try to put this in. I'm going to put this in a 100-kilometer orbit. And then see how much fuel we have left. But I think I've got it at a place where I can... it needs some fine-tuning. Like, I need to adjust the Sepatron speed and, you know, exactly what exactly the vector on the bottom engine needs to be. But, and, like, when the boosters, the amount of fuel in the boosters. But it works well. It works actually fairly well, so far. Now it's just a slow burn to orbit, pretty much. And we are in space. Let me just actually pitch up a little bit more so we can get into orbit quicker. Yeah, I think this is good for launching stuff into, like, low Kerbin orbit. I mean, if I'm launching stuff to, like, geostationary, I would, like, take a steeper angle. What about going farther? Probably don't have enough fuel. Do I have enough fuel to get into orbit? I barely might have enough fuel to get into orbit. Yet again, it needs adjusting. Got our Delta cryogenic second stage. If you look up Delta 3 on YouTube, there's some good videos on it, like, about why it was such a failure and all that. Frankly, I think that's why I like Delta 3. It's just a weird-looking rocket, because it's a weird mashup between Delta 4 and Delta 2. And then, just because it was... we ran out of fuel. Okay. I'm just gonna have to take some from this tank, I'm sorry, to get to orbit. Yeah, we might need to adjust that. Take some fuel from the payload. But... it wasn't that much. If I flew that better, I could have gotten to orbit. Also, this is probably the max amount it's probably going to ever take. But, where's the... there we go. We are in orbit, my dudes. And I think this is where we're going to end the stream. It has been an hour and 40 minutes of me building this rocket, and I'll be back eventually with, you know, another probably live stream of this where I, try to finish it up and we actually take a payload out somewhere. But thank you all for watching. Please like, subscribe, comment, tell me what you think. Thank you for all the people who came to watch the stream. Steven, Brett, and Lumbago. And I will see... goodbye, good blue. Goodbye. Please join the Discord server. Follow me at BitChute because I also upload everything else there. And if you're interested in more Kerbal Space Program, streams, videos, if you're interested in TF2, EU4, other games that I might end up playing, I don't know. Please subscribe to my channel. Thank you very much because God, I feel horrible shilling out right now. But I'll see y'all in the next one. Goodbye.